Good evening, everyone. My name is Natasha Love Rogers, and I'm a second-year MBA student here at Olin Business School and a recent alum of our law school as well. When I was approached to be one of the student speakers for this evening, I was very humbled by the request and equally excited to share with you my grad school journey and how it manifested. And it would not have manifested but for the scholarship and the sponsorship that we received from what some may call our corporate donors, but what I sincerely acknowledge and consider as an extension of our Washington University family. I come from very humble backgrounds, inner city Newark, New Jersey, and came to grad school with a fire in my belly and a deep desire in my spirit to make sure that other folks from different socioeconomic backgrounds have the same opportunity as I. There was 3 significant events that happened in our US history that really made me sit up straight, tugged on my heartstrings, and raised my level of consciousness to make sure that, and made me say that I'm ready to leave this comfort zone of Anheuser-Busch InBev and go forth and hone some skills to go back and make sure that from a public policy perspective, we are making and enacting change so that people from all parts of life can have the same opportunities that I had. Those 3 significant events were first, the collapse of Enron. I was a sophomore, maybe a junior in undergraduate, my undergraduate university of Rutgers University, and there were lots of graduating seniors that had their offers rescinded right from under them because of the financial impact that collapse of that multi-billion dollar company had to our US system. And that just left a deep imprint on me because I was excited to be at my university. I was the first to graduate college in my family, and it's really a launching pad, not just for you, but your whole family. And to see people just like me not really understand or be bewildered by where they're gonna go forward in life really left a lasting impression on me. The second incident that happened in our US system that left an impression on me was the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina was definitely a natural disaster out of our control, but the recovery effort really deeply saddened me, and it still to this day makes me a little perplexed about the way we handle that. My job at Anheuser-Busch InBev was in supply chain, and my goal and my legacy and what I left there and what I continue to do is to make sure that we get resources to people in a very efficient manner without compromising quality in that process. And I really felt as though that the great work I was doing as far as distributing alcohol to the global system, those same skills could be utilized in that situation. So it really raised my consciousness to say, what is it that I'm really doing with my life? How is this applicable? How is this leaving a lasting legacy for those that are less fortunate than I? And then the kicker, the last one, when I really said, okay, this is it, and drafted my resignation letter and handed it in, was the collapse of Lehman Brothers. And while I knew no one that was in banking, I didn't come from very much of an astute or affluent family, I definitely saw the impact that it had in my neighborhood. I lived in Soulard at the time. I saw people moving and leaving because their houses were going into foreclosure. And it was then that I had enough. I really thought that it's not really about them versus us, but it's really about me and what is it that I'm doing to be part of the problem, to be part of the solution, and not necessarily continuing on and being complacent and as a result being part of the problem. So with that said, I came to graduate school, law school, and business school here at Washington University with the goal of challenging the status quo. People will know me that I am not hesitant at all at expressing my opinion and using my critical thinking skills to challenge you to strengthen yours. I definitely came here with the opportunity to hone those skills and learn from other people that come from other walks of life. Those are in marketing, those are in strategy, those are in finance, to really see what are the skills that we're actually accumulating and excelling in order to make sure that I can carry those forward, whether that's in the boardroom or the halls of Congress. And I've really had a really great experience at the university, not just within the halls of Simon or A.B. Hall, but actually within the region and the city of St. Louis. I've had lots of opportunities to work with lots of organizations here, whether that be the Urban League, Young Professionals Group, United Way, or specifically with other corporations here. Specifically, the CEO of Urban Strategies and McCormick Barron Salazar, those two CEOs have been very instrumental in my upbringing and cultivating my career here. The CEO of Parrick himself and Centene have been very helpful in making sure that I hone my skills of what I would like to call compassionate leadership. I think those 3 incidents that I brought up, the major lacking focus was that people weren't brilliant. It wasn't that people weren't brilliant or they weren't smart, but sometimes we forget that there's other folks that are affected by the decisions that we make. My desire is to mitigate the unintended consequences because those consequences have a major impact. So the scholarship that Emerson has provided me and the scholarship that your sponsors, or rather our family, has provided us, gives us the opportunity to do things that we wouldn't naturally do. We don't necessarily, while school is hard, we don't necessarily have to lock ourselves into our offices or in our library cubicles to grind away at the work, but we can share our experiences with our counterparts and our colleagues and really cultivate relationships. I often say I was born and raised in the city of Newark, but I really grew up professionally here in the city of St. Louis, and I really appreciate the opportunity to do so. And I thank you, and I appreciate you, and I look forward to being someone that can sow the seeds that someone else can stand in the shade of as that tree grows. And I look forward to working with you all in the future.